and then it turned into this. No, no, it was. Yeah, for us, it's like it's the thing that we always liked, right? Cyberpunk narratives, cyberpunk games. We come from like the main inspiration of 2112 is Android Netrunner, which is a card game that it's discontinued right now, but that it's amazing, and it's an asymmetrical card game in which one player plays the runner, that is a hacker, and the other player plays the corporation, right? So it's all about finding the secrets of the corporations, exposing them, and the corps then find you and kill you, or they make they accomplish the hidden agendas, right, and dominate the world. So we were thinking, we always liked that one, and that lore, and we were like, what if we can do something like this on NFTs, right? Because there is a lot of cyberpunk projects that use the aesthetic of cyberpunk, but there are not a lot of cyberpunk theme projects that go deep into the narrative, right, and into the all the interesting things that cyberpunk has to tell about humanity, right, and about technology and the advancements of science and everything, and the power disparity there is. So this thing about antagonizing hackers versus the corporations is something that it's so rich and vast that we wanted to put it on an NFT project, right, and do a game and everything. But then everything happened, right, on the NFT space. Anonymized appeared, right, my mice, and they revolutionized like the DeFi aspect of games. And then Wolf Game, right, and all these games, on-chain games, and we're starting to look at them, and it was like every project was a lesson learned for us. So it was good for us to be launching after all this, because we know a lot of the issues that they have, and how to approach them better, right? So yeah, we started thinking then, why wait to make a standalone video game, right, with the funding, and why not try to launch an on-chain game right off the gate, and then start developing it iteratively, right, in phases, so people can start playing this game of hacking the servers and everything, and gaining tokens, and playing that will be like a huge board game, right, like a strategy game of what to hack, of what to equip, right, and everything in the blockchain. So we developed that idea, and right now we are with that. And then we find out that we could have land, that we could have another thing that it's not land, but it's as important, that it's the console, right? That it's, say, that your computer, right? Something like that. So that will let you equip programs and do better runs. So it will be a huge thing that will be developed in phases, right, for the on-chain game. But our main goal was like to have the narrative be important, right? I think Bruno can talk more about that vision of the project being a narrative experience, right? So everything we do is around that.
Yeah, I can jump a little bit on that, but unless guys you want to ask something else about context, but otherwise we can dig in a little bit on the broader side of the project.
Yeah, I love what I'm hearing. Keep it going, and we'll step in if you have any more questions.
Okay, feel free to interrupt us at any moment, because we can talk for hours about this. But yeah, so the main idea for the entire project is to be like a huge framework to tell stories, to tell cyberpunk stories, to tell sci-fi stories. Actually, the idea of that first standalone video game that we were thinking of was like some kind of excuse for us to dig in writing stories and telling stories through a gameplay. That's why we thought of a single player game at that time. But well, as the project was evolving, and now, for example, in the team we have one dedicated writer that is Speche, the mastermind that is writing all of the lore. I mean, we work as a team on creating concepts, for example, for each of the faction, each of the corporations. But he's actually the mastermind putting that into into words. And what we try to do is to focus everything around the project to serve as a tool, let's say, to tell these stories. That's why, for example, we launched for the whitelist or mint list, as we're calling the process. We launched an entire event that is lasting for 10 days. We are on day 3 or 4, depending on which part of the world you are right now. But the idea is that in this 10-day event, we have one recruiter for each of the factions that we have for the runners. We are introducing 5 different factions for the runners. And each of these recruiters are basically proposing a quest that you need to do in order to get to the list. Some of those quests are more difficult, others are simpler, but the idea is that we also use that as leverage to introduce you into the lore, to let you know more about the factions, about the world, about how it feels to hack in this world. So right now we are running the second one of the 5 of the 5 factions with a simple quest that is basically like a choose your own adventure mini game. And what we discover, for example, is that this genius writing of Speche made people actually read a lot. I mean, in a space when we know we all have like this attention
Short
span
attention span.
divided.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like 1,000 things happening all the time. And well, it feels like people is actually taking the time to read basically a storyline, a short story, um, and actually starting to get involved and understanding how this universe will work. The idea with implementing an on-chain game here, it's also to use that as a tool for the community to impact how this narrative world will evolve. So basically, as the game progresses and we start introducing more complex mechanics, for example, faction mechanics in which entire factions will be performing actions together or deciding things together, they may change the main events of this universe and end up deciding that I don't know, some things happen or not in this story in this timeline, let's say. So it's like a
Gotcha.
collaborative work.
Want to jump in here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just want to jump in here very quickly. Thank you, by the way, for giving us so much lore to read. I know we don't do much of that, especially when we're glancing over roadmap and Moby's saying there's only 1,000 left to min out of 10K. But I want to learn more about the development process. When I think it's curious that you know, you want to have a game. You could have taken it both routes, right? You could use the NFT drop to crowdfund the development of the game. Um, but instead, it sounds like you guys are taking the approach of building the minimum viable product of a game where NFT collectors can mint, engage in such a way, and get started right off the bat. And then again, like you said, have an iterative phase of development and innovation, much like what Wolf Game was planning to do. Shout out to Wolf Game. Um, you
Yeah.
know, can you tell us a little bit about the development process? Have you guys had third party audit the contract? Can you speak a little bit about the decision to be on chain, and what that means specifically for at least this phase of the game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, well, I can start with, I mean, we approach the development of the project from the beginning like a business, right? Like we are doing meetings, we are using actually like the agile methodology, right? I mean, it's all the things that we learned with my brother working on software companies for more than 10 years, right? So we know that everything has to be organized. I mean, this is not like there is this vision as you do an NFT project, right, and you just paint some generative art and then build the smart contract and you're done, right, and you are selling for thousands of dollars. But for us, it was like we have to approach it in a very professional way, because if not, we can't do it, right? This is our project has a very broad scope, right? So if you don't organize it and do it like we say, like iteratively in phases and communicating with the community, you are not going to make it basically, right? So for us, it's yeah, it's a lot of meetings, it's a lot of finding the person that you need also, right? So trying to do everything yourself and then find out that you're not good to do some of the things, right? Because you need people for the specific shot for everything. So this is why we ended hiring Dave, right, and Kfish to help us with the part of the tokenomics, the on-chain game, and they were on board very, very late, right, in comparison with the rest of the team. But it's we aim to do something else, so we have to find the people and do it, right? So
Love
yeah,
it.
for us it's
I
that.
love it.
It's taking a
Don't to cut
professional
you off.
approach.
I think this is a perfect. Yeah, I think this is a perfect enter stage right for Dave. If he's, if you brought him along to, sort of enhance your perspective and deployment of tokenomics, I'd love to hear from you, Dave. Well, what is it that you found interesting and curious about the tokenomics for 2112, and were there any other like NFT collections with tokenomics ingrained that inspired the approach here with 2112, Rod?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question, and shout out to Kfish who couldn't be here, but he's a huge part of it. Maybe just to touch upon your question about audits and stuff, we actually have our lead developer, Busy Michael, in the crowd, but Kfish is also part of that, and they will be kind of checking each other's work to make sure we cover all of the edge cases, all the fringe cases, and think of all the possibilities of how people could try, if there are bad actors out there, how can they try to exploit this contract. So it's kind of like we have multiple people on our own team with the capability to audit each other, which is really powerful. And
yeah, we're also hiring, right? I just want to add that just to let you then continue with the tokenomics. We are also hiring an outside. We are outsourcing, right, the audit, so it can be neutral, right? At least for what is the minting contracts, right? Because we want to make sure for everyone that nobody will play some dirty trick, right? Imagine that we have the artist Choi that made every PFP, like, he's like busting his ass, and you can imagine if someone put something and still he's part of the deal, it would be insane, right? So we have to make sure that everything is audited.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what really drew me to this project it really is the incredible talent of the entire team. When I was first introduced to the project, Wind and Brulo gave me a couple of previews of what their artists and what their storytelling is capable of, and it was I was shocked. I was speechless when I saw the quality of work that they're able to come up with in a very, very short amount of time. I mean, I see projects every day dropping, 1 ETH mints, or even today the Fluff World stuff. going up to like a 2.5 ETH floor right off the bat. And I look at some of the internal artwork done, and I'm like, our guys are just as good, if not better. And so that combined with Brulo and Wynn's vision of doing something more than just an on-chain game that we've seen before, where you just stake your asset. And you know, I'm not talking down on any of the projects, but staking is a very non-interactive way to generate tokens. And we wanted to do something different where something closer to like Axie Infinity, where you actually play a game and you get a positive experience. And in return for taking actions and playing the game, you're rewarded with tokens and you're rewarded with, you know, positive financial impact. So that, along with Kfish joined the team, and we want to innovate in the space as well. We don't want to be a Me Too project, and that's what drew me to the project.
That's awesome. Maybe it's a good time now to, we got Kfish up here as well. Welcome, Kfish. And would love to hear kind of what the exact on-chain actions, you know, that you can do as a part of the game and what that looks like, you know, on the blockchain that you're choosing to deploy on.
Wendy, do you want to take this one or do you want me to take it?
Yeah, I think I can talk a bit about like an example of play, but I would like you to talk about what you want to innovate, right? About bridging and everything that you are thinking of, that it's insane because that's a good thing. We want to also innovate technically because we have the power to do it, because we have Kfish basically. that he's awesome. So yeah, but for the game itself, it will start with a very straightforward approach, right? Right. It will be, as they were saying, there will be no staking. You are going to breach your token, or maybe you don't need to breach it. That is something that we are discussing technically. But the play will be on L2. There is no doubt about it. We are not sure about which L2 yet. But what you are going to do basically is you will have a pool of energy, basically, that will be called something like clock speed, right? That it's your ability to make runs, right? Making a run is making a hack into a server, right? And connecting into cyberspace. It's a lot of abstract things that we are going to explain when given the time. But the thing that it's that you are going to make runs, so you are going to manage these resources, right? You are going to manage your energy and see where are you making the run and what is the reward that you can get, what is the risk, because it will be a constant risk and reward. And you are going to earn these tokens, and you are going to also level up. So you are going to have to decide what to do first, like a lot of game theory, right? And in the future, there will be more things that will be added, right? We will have consoles that will be that you will keep programs into it and hardware, and then you will have land that you will be able to rent other people, and in the land you will be able to put like furniture, right? Like servers, things that will help you have more power to make better runs. Yeah, so there's a lot coming the way, but at first it will be like that, right? Clicking, making a run, getting the reward or the punish if you are risking, and then building up from there. Okay, Fish?
Awesome.
Yep.
Sorry, not to interrupt you, Kfish, but I do want to call out that the crypto bats are minting in about 2 minutes. I know our DGen community is going to be heavily focused on that, so just want to make sure keep that in mind.
Maybe we'll have a live call out here, give everyone a taste of what voice chat Metaverse HQ is like during a hype drop.
Oh, nice! I like it.
Radio silence over the next 3 minutes. No, I'm kidding, boys.
What gas are you
Just a quick
using,
question,
Mitch?
though. What's that?
What gas?
We're going
how
high
much prio?
prio. I'm thinking 1,000 GUI at least. This is like actually legitimate logistics. Crypto bats in 2 minutes now, 2.5. 1.66, I believe that's when the Dutch auction starts. 3 max per TX. And I'm going to go high Gui. I'm going to go over a K on this one. Don't front run me.
All right.
All right, I will
1001,
follow
you
you,
heard it
man.
here
But
first.
this is good because people can get a taste of what it is going dark, right?
Yes, exactly. We're going to go silent, and good luck. We will pick up this conversation in exactly right when CryptoBat sells out.
Yeah. 1 minute now.
Yeah,
GL,
Hulu
GL.
doesn't even have the chance either way. It's getting rugged.
Hey guys,
Oh,
what
no.
are we minting?
JJ. What are we minting?
we need to bring up our leader, JJ, for these mints.
I'd ask JJ what we're minting. 19 floor price. There's been 19 sales over the last 10 minutes for CryptoBats. Looking like positive EV. The floor is 0.5 higher than the mint right now.
Yeah, it's insane.
20 seconds. Ten seconds.
Still not active, says?
Looks like it's live.
Says sales not yet active. I am trying to mint.
It's working on the contractor. It's not giving me an error, at least.
Oh, not going to make it. I didn't get the contract. Oh, there it is. The website worked.
Looks like Prio's at 3,000.
2,000 pending
2,000.
transactions.
Yeah, they're at 8.4K right now, 8.7K. I think they're about to sell out.
You
9.
might be able to sneak in at 1,500 Prio, but it looks like if you want to guarantee, you have to go above 2,500.
I put my gas at 2,500.
Everyone put it at 2,501.
Oh my god, this is a fucking cook. Excuse my French. Are we sold out yet? Jesus.
9.4.
225 remaining on the website. I'm looking at a total of almost 4,000 pending transactions. This is going to sell out.
9.6K.
All right. I got 3.
Done. You got 3? Oh, I got 3 as well.
Nice, beautiful.
Yeah, and the gas is pretty cheap, 0.7 for the 3.
Yeah, beautiful.
Wow.
We hit high gas there too. All right. Who
I
else
missed
hit?
it. I missed it, man.
Congrats.
You can't do this when you are busting your ass.
Is it? Did you get any rares? When revealed? Do we list? How much?
All Fish's favorite questions to answer over voice.
Phew. All right. Well, GG. Yes.
GG.
If you're listening and you are a Metaverse HQ member, this is nothing new. I'm sure voice chat in our Discord was exactly the same. But if you're new to what we're all about, this is what we do. We keep our eyes on every single project that's worth keeping tabs on. And CryptoBats, as you know, has been an incredible whitelist partner, offering us 200 whitelist spots. And even though we've got the 2112 run team here, we still degens at heart. We love NFTs, and yeah, GG and congrats to all that minted.
Congrats.
So where were we?
Okay, we can go back now to the cyberspace. So, Cavefish,
Yeah.
do you want to talk a bit about the technicalities? And then Bruno has to talk because I miss his voice.
Yeah. So let's see. Where do I start? We've seen a lot of games pop up, right? Ever since Wolf Game, the big boom of just games in general, and the gas pains, and then the gameplay, and the fact that Ethereum, is deterministic, and so people exploited that a lot in order to get rares and stuff. Um, I've been there. I've suffered through it with everyone that's here, probably. And so when we take a look at 2112, and we think, if it's a game, it's like, is it fun first? You know, um, there are some things that are like APY RPGs, or things that are basically like staking, like just games that are just farming you tokens and stuff like that, and that's fine. But how do we make something that is interactive, in a blockchain where most things are turn-based just because of the nature of transactions? So thinking about what's on-chain, what's off-chain. Is there an off-chain element? Is there the bridging element? Do we want to be full layer 2, or do we want to be on layer 1 as well? And if so, what is in which one, and what can we do? So there's a lot of things that we're mixing together, and just figuring out how we can provide the smoothest gameplay. We're taking a look at things like which L2 is going to provide the cheapest transactions, and that it's not going to completely flop with some traffic. We're looking at possibilities of making bridging actually a lot cheaper, and maybe not even name it bridging. It's more of like choosing which layer you're on with your character at a certain time. And we're also taking a look at the composability of NFTs. When I was first approached by Windy and Brulo, we were talking and just like brainstorming about ERC like 998, and how there's some projects out there that have that. It's basically an EIP. It's a proposal to have it's like ERC 721, but you can have like nested like ownership of other NFTs. So it's kind of like attached. You can like attach, I don't know, like CryptoKitties, right? Or what's the other one? Like Mooncats, I think, also has like accessories and stuff. But through the use of that sort of composability conceptually, not exactly ERC 998, and using land for something that is not just like, oh, land is hype, so let's put land in there. But actually, like, if you have land, like people work all their lives to buy their home sometimes, right? Having land is important. And so if we're going to have land, then it needs to be important, is basically what we came to. So the gameplay with land is also going to be around enhancing the gameplay in different aspects, either for you or, depending on how you want to use your land, maybe for others. I don't want to spoil anything, Wendy.
Yeah, that's okay. I think that was enough in the technical aspect, because there are still a lot of things that we are defining, right? We are working every day and trying to deliver fast, but also we are trying to not rush, right? Because as I was telling on the Twitter Spaces of Hunger Range, right? I think when you do something of quality, you don't need to rush. Right? The people will be there because they will see the value. So
Yeah, where were you like 2 weeks ago, man? What the heck? No, but yeah, I mean, it's clear to see, clear as day, the quality that you guys have. I mean, we've been privy to a couple more sneak peeks in the public that we'll be sharing. I think inside MVHQ's walls in the coming weeks up to release. But we do have a tweet you just shared that we were able to pin at the top. If you guys want to go like and retweet that, there's some really cool art for some of the characters coming out. And then
yeah, this is the first time that we show every base. These are all the bases, and then there will be like generated with traits, right?
Gotcha. So yeah, I'm just curious. You guys are getting closer and closer to release. What is like kind of the last steps that you guys are working on? It seems like you have gone so in depth in each direction. Is there anything that is taken a while to finish, or anything you're working on?
I can jump in that one after my fourth Twitter rag of the day.
Did you get rugged again? Are you still here?
Oh no!
Make it 5.
Oh man, he's gonna get
No, bro. Oh my god!
Poor guy. Maybe I don't even know, a different account. I have no idea.
He's shadow banned of Twitter. Oh my god!
But yeah, I mean,
Well, I can say, yeah. No, I can say that there's a lot that we are still doing, right? It's like you never stop doing something, but
Wow, windy too, or did I just get rugged?
No, yeah, we're still here. I thought it was on. Well,
okay. Well, I can explain.
Can you hear me now?
Just kidding.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. My wife here lent me her phone, so I now have two phones just in case I need to jump from one to the other. After 5 to the racks. Okay, yeah. About what we're working on, like right now, let's say, or the final stretch, let's say, and up to mint day. Is basically our awesome environment artist Uki and Bain, the masterminds behind all the scenery and the world building from the images standpoint. If you saw those images, you know how detailed they are. If not, go to our website because you are going to be blown away. But they right now are working on the actual mint passes that we are going to be minting soon. I will go into more detail also on how the mint is actually going to work. I think it's something that we haven't covered in some live streams and AMAs that we were doing the last couple of days. So the actual alpha or information will be given here first, and we will start like being super concise with this information because it's a little bit different as other projects. So right now, our artists are working on the mint passes that we are going to be minting. The idea is that on
where can we share a work in progress for that? Only for Metaverse HQ, not on Twitter. In which channel can we drop it?
Okay,
this is only for you.
Okay. But yeah, the rest of the world will see that probably Monday, Tuesday next week. What we want to do also is to release them with some cool and clear infographic or something like that, so you can be super clear of what you are going to be minting on mint day. The idea is that what you will see in the mint page are basically 3 bundles
of mint passes. We're going to have 3 different tiers of different rarities, of course, with different supply and different prices, but all of them will include a mint pass for the main character, the main PFP, the crypto runners. That mint pass is the same for all the tiers. You have the same chance of getting any character from the collection, no matter what tier you are buying. And also in that bundle, you will have 1 mint pass for the console item, that it's going to be like the most important item that you will be using when we introduce at a second or third phase. It depends on how we end up doing the actual roadmap of the on-chain game. But the idea is that you will start with no items, will do like your basic first runs, and then we are going to implement the console mechanics, in which you will be able to attach programs or mods to this console to upgrade how good you are playing. And the third mint pass is going to be the land mint pass, that will let you basically redeem your apartment or your penthouse if you go to the highest tiers. That they will also have this functionality that was described earlier, and also Kfish, that those will come into play with group play. Let's say you will be able to join other runners and do like huge runs against a corporation. You are going to be able to lend that for passive income and those kind of things. So on mint day, you are going to get your 3 passes. The different tiers of the bundles will determine basically the rarity of the console and the land. Just remember that the Crypto Runner Pass will be the same for all the tiers, because it's the main NFT of the collection, and we want that to be as fair as possible. You can get any character from the collection, no matter what tier you're minting. But of course, both the console and the lands will be very limited on the highest tiers, and of course will give more possibilities, better bonuses. Even, for example, the lending mechanics will probably only be present on the mid and higher tiers. So the idea is that the lower tiers of both the item and the land lets you, let's say, understand and participate on those specific mechanics, but then later you can see if you want to go and try to get a better one, or lend the land of someone else. But well, having said that, that's the thing, that on mint day you are going to receive 3 mint passes that are going to be ERC 1155. So we expect the gas to be super chill on that regard, and we expect the first redemption window, let's say, that would be to redeem your Crypto Runner Pass for the PFP, the character, sometime around 2 weeks after the mint. As everything we are doing, we are prioritizing the quality and the security. So it can be a couple of days earlier or later, but it will be around that date. We are going to be curating the collection. We want all of the characters to look awesome, because Joy, our character artist, has been working on this for almost 6 months, every day of the week, for many hours. So we are going to take care that the actual product that you receive is of the highest quality. So yeah, just so you have that in mind, starting now, and we're going to share this information as clearly as possible. On minting day, you are receiving 3 NFTs per transaction. We still need to decide if how would be the max mint per wallet. Probably not more than 2 or 3, because we are getting a lot of people interested, and we want the most of you to be able to mint. But yeah, that's basically what I wanted to clarify. You are receiving 3 mint passes, and each one is going to have its own redemption window for the final NFT that you are going to be using on the game, right? First, the character, sometime prior to the launch of the items mechanics, it will be the console, and sometime prior to the launch of the land mechanics, it will be the redemption window for the land. But next week, when you see the mint passes, I mean the art that these sick people that we have working on environment art is doing for those mint passes. I mean, it's going to even be a hard decision to burn those in exchange for the PFP, because they look fantastic. I mean, I have no word.
I leaked it. I leaked it on voice chat. Am I fired?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be a hard decision to give up that piece. I can only imagine what the land or other redemption options you have and art's gonna look like for those. But if you are in the Metaverse HQ Discord in the voice hangout chat, where basically our general chat at this point, if you scroll up a bit, Win did link it earlier. Chat kind of went a little bit nuts, so you do need to scroll up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's clear to see that you guys have super talented artists on your end. And, I love that you guys are rewarding your early minters with all these different NFT options from the start. So I think that's, a super big value there. It also appears like Mitch is getting rugged pretty hard as well. I'm trying to back up here.
Oh,
But
no.
we are coming up on the 50-minute mark. So unless you guys have any other alpha you'd like to leak, I think we can start transferring to questions soon from the audience. We've got one person requesting right now. And if you guys do have questions, feel free to request and we will get you up as soon as possible. But yeah, is there anything you guys would like to mention before we kind of transition?
No, we can talk about maybe the whitelist process or what are we thinking for Metaverse HQ, but maybe that is for later, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
No, that's a great idea. So we'll bring our first speaker up, Jacob, if you want to bring him on. And for everyone listening and tuning in, if you're Metaverse HQ, please fill out the pre-mint form in the announcements if you're interested in getting whitelisted for 2112 Run, Win, Brulo, and Kfish Dave. Everyone's project, I guess. There's a lot of hands on deck. I'd love to see it. If you're interested in getting whitelisted, please fill out that pre-mint for intent. Metaverse HQ members. And Win, I'll let you give the good news. We get whitelisted, yes?
Yeah, of course.
Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. So fill out the form, and you will be asked to join the 2112 Discord, of course, because we're going to be playing the game and living in the land and doing all that. So, yeah, very excited for that, fam, and thank you for hooking Metaverse HQ community up. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Also, welcome to the stage, Kenneth. You are our first AMA question from the audience. Glad to have you here. How are you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me. Great to be here. I'm actually a game dev myself, so a little bit of background is I left Riot after I've been in gaming industry as a game economist for 8 years and left Riot Games recently to start a new blockchain gaming studio with a couple other Riot co-founders. We've been building in stealth for about a year, and we are planning on launching our game's MVP this summer, probably end of summer. But we have the game site that's probably going to be launched at the end of this month, and we're thinking about building community as early Feb. And I guess I just wanted to ask, because I haven't really talked to many people who are interested in the intersection of NFTs and gaming to date, because I'm just starting to enter Twitter. Mostly been talking to just like NFT, enthusiasts who aren't necessarily game enthusiasts. But wanted to ask if let's say we start building community in Feb, and if we launch in, for example, August, our early access MVP, And in between, I mean, I'm sure we'll have like public play tests because you want to get feedback, but it'll be small groups and focus groups type of thing. But you know, what kind of do you think that it's too early to start building community, you know, 6 months in advance before anything is playable? Would love to get some tips or advice in terms of you know, what people think about that. And we do have NFTs ready to drop because we've been building for a while, but just wanted to understand, you know, time wise, if anybody has any advice.
Sure. Yeah, happy to jump in here, Kenneth. And thank you for coming up. Love Riot, by the way. I'm a League of Legends big fan. Been playing, honestly, admittedly, way too long. Uh, but I'm a gamer at heart. So, and I like to feed in the jungle. I think 2112, like maybe we could do a two-pronged approach, right? We can give you a nice free consult from Metaverse HQ, home of the best number one NFT community as far as trading, investing, and so forth. Maybe we could have Win and Brulo talk about how long you guys have been building the 2112 community thus
Yeah.
far, what your success has been along that sort of timeline. If Kenneth is thinking, you know, they'll launch a game end of September, you know, what would you guys suggest?
Yeah, I think that now in hindsight, I would say that probably we open our server and our community maybe too early or like yeah super early. Uh, Maybe probably because of how anxious we are. I mean, we were super hype about the idea, and we wanted to start like sharing the process of building with whoever wanted to participate, let's say. So what we discovered in the last 1 or 2 months is that the big momentum and the big influx of users, of course, was going to happen closer to the min date, closer to the opening of the min list, whitelist, or whatever process that you want to put up to try to avoid botting and gas ward and those kind of things. And it's actually what we are seeing right now. We build the first, I don't know, 2K people in like 5 months. And in the last week, we have received 3K more people. I mean, and we are growing like 1K per day with the event that we just launched. So we don't even know where this is going to end up. We haven't invested in paid promotion a single cent yet. So I would say if you want to like share the trip with the early community, you can open as soon as you want. It was more like an experiment. I was posting like these dev diaries in which I was like literally describing our meetings or how we were planning to do this or that. And I mean, it was like uh, stupidly early. I mean, we were telling people you won't see a date about this in months, and some of them are still there with us. I imagine a lot of them may have lost the interest, and probably now we are going to be on the radar again. Um, so I think both ways are viable. It depends on how you want to share the journey with the community. We wanted to do it in a way that if anyone wants to be there literally from the start, from day zero, when we were planning things up, they can. And if they want to join right now, I think it's a great moment to join also. It's still
Well,
early.
I think so too. Don't mean to jump in, but I think you brought up a good point, right? Like it really depends on what you're building, Kenneth. For instance, a play to earn game, like a really serious, like triple A legit play to earn game. I'm talking like big time gaming, maybe Ember Sword, whenever they'll release. Like these projects, these play to earn games, like Zedron, Axie Infinity, they've had their communities built out like months and months and months in advance. I mean, Ember Sword, we still don't have a playable demo. Guild of Guardians, Big Time Gaming, no playable demo yet, but I've been in that Discord for since like last year, right? And you know, they come out with podcasts like what Wind was saying with 2112. They have like a dev diary, keeping the community members engaged, going through wave after wave of perhaps NFT drops. Like, you guys don't have to have a single like first like final wave of NFTs. If you can like take a look at what Guild of Guardians is doing when they're like releasing out in waves, I think that's really smart. But it really depends on what you're building. If it's going to be like a PFP project, like a 10K collection, yeah, maybe like 1-2 months before the public sale makes sense. I think play to earn games that are really trying to build and develop something, especially if it's going to take a year or 2 years to build. You know how long it really takes to build a real, true, like amazing, addictive, engaging game like League of Legends is going to take years. Or if you want to go like the Crypto Raiders route, right? So Crypto Raiders, they had they released a collection on OpenSea, you know, and then on the Ethereum blockchain, and then they built it from the ground up. They just started the Discord. They ported all of the L1 assets into layer 2 Polygon, and then had a game built, and were much more iterative, constantly engaging with the community. And that's another way to build the game, right? To just build it MVP and continue to iterate and evolve and innovate in real time and keep us engaged. There's so many ways that you can approach it, but I think it depends on what you're building, what you're planning to release, especially if it's a serious like play to earn game. I would definitely take a look at what Big Time, Ember Sword, Influence, perhaps maybe Star Atlas on Solana. I know I'm missing a handful of others. Zed Run. Take a look at what they've done with our communities. They've really taken the time to help develop, nurture, and engage. And it doesn't have to a year, I think, for a play to earn game. Many beforehand, starting to build a community before you actually have a viable product, I think makes a lot of sense.
Got it. That's super helpful. Thanks all. One follow-up question I have is, I've heard people say that actually slow and steady building community is helpful because the people that basically, come in, it's not just like a crazy, festival of like, so many people that you can actually have, uh, um, build interpersonal relationships in the early days of the community. But then there's other kind of like projects that basically just go really hard on blasting on Twitter and everything and doing raids, and they get like thousands in at a time. Um, any kind of like commentary or thoughts in terms of like, have you found the nature of the conversations that you're having in Discord communities be different dependent upon the size of and timing of how the Discord grows?
Yeah, I mean, I think that totally makes sense. Of course, people that it's still in the server since September, let's say, they have like a more in-depth knowledge of how the team was working, because once again they were sharing the journey with us. Now in these last couple of days that we are having like a huge influx of people in the server, you see a little bit of everything. People just coming around, trying to get in the list, and people instantly getting hooked by the universe that we are creating, starting to think of their own stories, fitting in this universe and participating in the prompts that we are throwing out. I mean, it depends a lot on how you are building that community. We are aiming specifically at getting people that wants to get involved in a universe that is evolving and that will change based on in big part on their decisions. Maybe if you're aiming for a game that is specifically like, okay, we launch the game and you go and play, but you as a team control the universe, the lore, the stories, or whatever, it won't make much difference. For us, it really works to have people coming since months ago, because we are trying to involve them as much as possible. All the early feedback that we have from our early members. It was super valuable, and it's how we are going to keep building. I mean, the entire project will live by that ideal, let's say, of building
Yeah,
along
for
the.
us, I think it was like, if I can say, for us, it led us like building from the beginning with the community, even if they were like 300 at first and then more and then more. It was like making them be used to how we work, right? And the way we work is giving out news every time we can, right? So we don't disappear for more than, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. I mean, we are always telling you what we're doing, so you know that we are not forgetting the project, right? I think nowadays it's very valuable to be every day, like doing a constant check, right? That you are there, and for us will be like that forever, right? Because that is the thing that it's good about our project, that it's not only an on-chain game, it's not only a narrative experience, it's everything all together. So while we are developing on-chain game, we can throw you some new narratives, we can develop maybe, I don't know, a comic, we can do a small movie. So we can every time keep building something and showing you that we are here working, because it's the thing that we like, right? It's not only about our job and money. Obviously, it's also a passion. It's really, we are choosing to do this because we like to create all these things that we are passionate about. So
Yeah, and,
Got it.
and
Thank you.
one other thing I might add, we just discovered that people is super engaged in this role play little quests on Discord. I mean, right now it's the gateway to get into the list, so it's understandable also the interest. But I'm pretty sure that most of the people that is joining right now will keep engaging if we do this role play part in the Discord. That will be a huge part of the project also, because while you wait for the next iteration of the game, you will be participating in other events.
Got it.
yeah,
What can I, if I may ask, what chain are you building on? I'm sorry if this was asked before.
the main asset will be layer one on mainnet, and the game will be on layer two. We are still deciding. We have Polygon, Arbitrum as options. So
Gotcha. Okay, so you opted for ETH ecosystem. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thanks so much.
The with regards to the layer two, there's like pros and cons with the different chains. I've been looking into IMX and what can be done there, and the games that run on IMX, for example. And most of the interaction for those games is probably going to be off chain, because IMX is meant for minting and for market. And from the perspective of other layer twos, it's which one's going to give the users the best experience. That's the one that we're going to pick. And it would be nicer to have it like, oh yeah, we're going with this one, right? Like having that already set. But the fact that at the end of the day, it's still Solidity, deploying on them is not a problem.
One question for everyone here is are people interested in NFT gaming only in the Ethereum ecosystem, or are people generally chain agnostic? Or are there certain chains that people they're like, don't, I would never build on that, and I would never play anything on that?
Well, I think that people are going to have different opinions depending on what they think about blockchains in general. But as far as as at least for me, Ethereum is where the volume is, and having your asset on Ethereum.
Kfish get rugged there? Are we still here?
Okay, I thought it was just me. Oops.
Oh, did I cut out there for a
Looks
second?
like he's back.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah, my bad. I was just saying that I prefer having my assets on Ethereum because it adds value to them, because that's where the volume is. But gameplay, having it on, I don't know, Polygon, for example, because of gas, right? Like, I don't want to pay gas when I play. I don't want, how many people have spent hundreds or thousands of dollars just in gas to play a game? That doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
All right, great question, Kenneth. Thank you for your time. We got Peerless up here as well, and I know he's got a great question coming up. So yeah, let us have it, man.
Thanks for the introduction. I just want to say, man, the fucking art and lore is top notch. Like, goddamn, you guys are doing a great job. I'm thoroughly impressed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I before I get into what I wanted to talk about, I just wanted to give my opinion on the previous person's statement on evaluating if it makes sense to, create those socials like super early and whatnot. And I think it's especially important, like if you analyze the NFT space, you have the ability to have like instead of having like VCs and whatnot where you have like big companies funding your project, you can have individuals funding your project, and those individuals are not necessarily going to be the players of the game, right? So you could open up the project for the eyes of those particular investors, and those would be like maybe your Genesis NFTs and so forth that would have like those yield to them and whatnot. And then you could just make it, like a free to play game or like another NFT that, the barrier of entry is not nearly as high. So I guess it really depends on like what you're trying to make. But yeah, I think it makes sense in many different ways. But that's my opinion on that whole aspect. Anyways, I really love analyzing NFT games from a tokenomics standpoint. So I've been looking at your white paper and just staring at the economy aspect. It doesn't seem like you guys have too much depth there. Maybe you guys are still ironing that out. I see you guys have like in-game currency, what faction events, buying consumables, which is non-NFTs, cosmetics, which can be both non-NFTs and NFTs, in-game fee for contracts, paying for in-game services, like removing a debuff at a clinic. Then you guys have the notoriety tokens, which is kind of like a level for each character that's not tradable. That sounds really cool. You got faction tokens, which not necessarily player owned, kind of like a DAO system. I think that concept is really neat as well. And then in-game items as NFTs, and you guys mentioned specifically, obviously, the crypto runners themselves, consoles and programs. But I'm trying to kind of capture and analyze the game as far as if I don't want to sell my crypto runner, how am I going to potentially make a return on my investment, play the game to earn? Can you elaborate on that?
That's a great question. I can chime in, and then Brew and Maro,
Yeah, sure.
You can hop in afterwards. Yeah, at the moment our white paper there's a lot there. There's a lot to read about. There's a lot to soak in. If I were to distill our white paper, which we're going to update, we're going to make it a little more clear and concise. But if I were to just distill that white paper, I would say, first of all, our priority for the token itself is stability. We just like any other currency, you don't want major price fluctuations. It's okay to have your currency appreciate over time, but at some point, if your token becomes too valuable, then people don't want to buy items in the game. They just want to sell the token. And on the other side, I mean, that's a good problem to have, in my opinion, if people are making so much money just selling the tokens. On the other side, if your token depreciates in value too much, if you flood the overall supply with too many tokens, then all of your assets get dragged down. All of your NFT, your crypto runner get dragged down in value as well, which is what we see with a lot of these on-chain projects. With respect to the different play styles, this is somewhat of a priority for us. Is we want to cater to many different type of players. The first type of player is going to be very active in the community. They enjoy playing the game. They enjoy the experience, and we don't want them to ever have to sell their crypto runner. So they should be able to, by being the most active player in their game, they will accumulate in-game assets, and they can also sell the token as well. For the more passive-minded investor, that they don't want to be spending 30 minutes to an hour every day playing the game. Maybe they're just looking at it from an investment standpoint. We have two mechanics that will cater towards that. One is the land you will be getting if you buy the mid or high rarity tier will be rentable. So you can actually generate, other players will pay you to use your land, and we are building in utility. There is going to be differences in utility based on the land you get. The second main method of generating passive income is to lend your crypto runner, kind of like a scholarship program you see with Axie Infinity and with a lot of these games. So I think I hope this is not a leak, but
No.
Michael and Kfish are looking at ways to build out a lending function directly into our smart contract, so that you don't have to transfer your NFT to another player and cross your fingers and hope they don't just steal your NFT and run off with it. You can actually lend it directly through our platform, allow that player to be an active player in 2112 universe, and whatever tokens they accumulate, maybe you can split. Kfish, feel free to jump in if you have any comments on that end.
Yep. So first it's play for fun, and then it's play to, play to earn.
Absolutely.
Play to earn is an interesting concept. And as far as like in-game currency, one token equals one token, right? The community is who's going to put a price on it if they so desire, right? Like liquidity pools and stuff like that. But as far as the token or in-game currency, one token is one token.
Yeah, and it's about oh, sorry.
Yeah, I think that the main point here for me is with regards to your runner, and selling your runner is like exiting the game. And your runner will evolve over time, right? And there are things that, remember when I was talking about composability, so that there are going to be things that are not the runner that you can trade. And so when it comes to how you're going to earn, like Dave was saying, if you want to, rent it out, if you want to be a landlord, if you want to play the game, there's going to be plenty of ways for you to figure out which way you want to do it.
Do you need a crypto runner to own land?
Good question. No, I don't think we have any plans to make that a requirement.
Okay, cool.
You can be a landlord.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I wanted to add one more thing to the concept. Just think of it, because it's something I try to be super clear about also. The fact that we are not mainly building a game. We are building a game as a part of a project that has a broader scope, at least in our vision as founders. This project is part of what we want to become a content production. I don't have the
It's like
exact term in
it's like
English.
it's like an entire sci-fi hub, right? So
Yeah.
you will be playing. I mean, you will be earning, right, because of the nature of cryptocurrency, right, and NFTs. But the main thing is that you are going to be part of these big narratives that they will be represented as many things, right? It's not only written text, right? It can be movies, it can be anything. So you are impacting like a bigger IP, a bigger sci-fi IP, right? So maybe what you are getting is not only the earn aspect, right? But the fun and even the flex, right? Of saying, for example, I shaped the narrative, right? I got this secret agenda that it has a low chance to drop, and with this, I changed the story of the narrative of the entire IP, and maybe there is a movie then about what I did in the game, right? So the thing is that we want this to be bigger, right? And the on-chain game is one part of touching that.
Yeah, after hearing you guys, elaborate, I like it a lot. I mean, I guess if I don't necessarily want to play, but I still believe in your project, I can buy the NFT, have like a scholar play my character, level it up with those notoriety tokens and so forth. Now the NFT's worth more, then I can go ahead and sell that, and then maybe buy a floor and rinse and repeat, or gain that notoriety and so forth. Yeah, I think it's cool. I think you guys definitely got a solid project. I'm bullish on you guys as a team. I know all of you, or most of you, and man, I just want to say again, like the fucking art is gorgeous, and you guys obviously took a lot of time in building that lore and so forth, and you really don't see that in a lot of on-chain games. Like, it's just kind of cut and dry sometimes. So it's refreshing. So yeah, I'm excited. And yeah, thank you for your time on answering my question as eloquently and elaborate as you guys did.
Yeah, but that's why we make that distinction when you say that there's no many on-chain games that put this level of detail, or it's because we are a transmedia narrative project with an evolving universe that happens to contain an on-chain game, and we have even for further plans a standalone game that they may or may not end up being the same game if it grows complex enough. But once again, don't think of it as only an on-chain game. Try to see that in the context of the entire project.
Yeah, no, I love it. Yeah, thanks.
No, thank you.
Thank you, Peerless.
Thank you, Peerless.
Yeah, great question there. Looks like we got Hunt Club Hero. I know they've been requesting for a while. Hopefully, we can get you up here. You got rugged the first time. And then, yeah, can you hear us, Hunt? All right, his BIOS is lost in the sauce, so maybe that explains things a little bit. But we'll give him a couple more seconds here. Hopefully, we can figure out what's going on.
In the meantime, can I do a little advertisement?
Hey, man, it's your space.
Okay, I would really encourage you, if you haven't already joined the server, because we are running a super awesome event for places on the mint list. And tomorrow we are launching a super awesome quest that it's, well, we are also releasing this new recruiter from a faction. We are releasing all of them with a video that has a voiceover, a professional voice actor or voice actress that we hire for each one of them. And tomorrow's one, it's a special surprise for the entire NFT space. So you want to be there tomorrow.
Yeah, and it will involve an ARG, right? It will be a riddle, so the rewards will be higher. I mean, we will be given higher roles that will get free mints, giveaways, and everything. So
yeah,
it's
we're gonna put you to work.
All right, I'm a bit triggered that you used the word ARG. I'll be honest. Still have nightmares from the Sin City ARG, and
Oh, me too. I've learned.
Arr.
Yeah,
Think
that
of it
was
as a pirate. Arr.
Please don't insult me. Please don't put fuck you in. Fuck you, Zulo.
Now this one should be a little more friendly, let's say. I mean, it's planned to last no more than 2 or 3 days. That is how much each recruiter in the event is lasting, let's say. So we are trying to do that in a way that you can actually solve it.
Yeah, I'll throw a hint. We're releasing 10 images on Twitter that you have to decode and no, I'm kidding.
You have to print them, then see them in the sun at 6 o'clock exactly.
change them later. Yeah, we get the story. We get the picture. But yeah, we're coming up on the hour and a half mark. I think it's probably a good time to wrap things up, unless Hunt is able to ask his question here, his or hers.
I wanted a question. Come on.
All right. Well, we got
You
Joey.
can do it.
We can maybe get you one more. Let's see if Joey is able to join. Got a nice dead fella. Twitter is really just out for vengeance today. I don't know what it is. They add NFT PFPs and decide nothing else matters anymore. Mitch even paid the $3 to get it his, and he's getting rugged still, so it doesn't even work. All right, Joey, you up here? Can you hear us?
Oh, hey, I just joined. I didn't realize you guys were closing the space down. I had questions regarding the Treasure DAO and DeFi Kingdoms. If you guys already touched on that, that's fine.
Oh, sorry. We're actually focusing on 2112 Run, which is a game that we're focusing on here. Love to talk about some other NFT games, maybe in a future space. But if you have any questions for that, feel free to go ahead. Otherwise, we'll probably wrap things up here. Oh, looks like Hunt might be speaking.
Hey, how are you?
Hey there.
Yo, what's up?
I'm sorry to bother you guys, man. I wanted to say I've been drinking my Metti and waiting for the penguin to appear in these spaces, and there's no penguin, and I'm concerned. I need the devs to do something. When penguin? That's about it. I love you guys.
Oh, we love you too, man. Bringing up the penguin, it's the true follower.
I think that's an awesome closure.
Yeah, Yeah, that's great. Love the good vibes to end things out. Thank you all so much for your time here. I just pinned up our latest tweet that you can go like and retweet there. Make sure to follow 2112. This will show a little bit more about our partnership with them and the whitelist that they are extending to our members. Thank you again very much for that. I'm super grateful to have you guys as a part of the community. If you are not aware of Metaverse HQ and what we do, we are the premier NFT trading and alpha community in the space. We've been around for almost a year at this point, and yeah, you got a taste of what our voice chat sounded like earlier with the crypto bats minting. Props to all of you who got it. It looks like you are doing very well in your ETH address accounts. So happy to have that going on as well. Made the spaces a little bit more exciting. That's just a taste of what you can expect in our 24/7 voice chat. We got people all around the world. And, we look to educate anyone. Even if you're just starting out, don't feel afraid. You can come in there, listen, learn, ask questions, up to the most experienced traders and Solidity devs. So that's a little bit on us. And we do have a merch drop. If you're interested in that, we have actually extended that till this Sunday. If you want to be comfy while you're minting things in the metaverse, our members get a 25% discount. And we're also extending that discount to some of our partners. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, yeah, I'll let Wind and Brulo have the final note here to say goodbye to their community and the awesome things that they've built. So happy to have you all here.
You want to go, bro?
Yeah, no, as always, I thank you all for everything at Metaverse HQ. You changed my life, and you literally made 21 possible. So I want to thank you all again, and for the ones that are not inside of it, just go in. I mean, if you have the money, you will recover it in 4 days. No financial advice.
Wow,
No,
bearish. I would say a couple
Is
hours.
that, yeah, is that, no, say that here.
All
But yeah,
right, fam. Well, thank you for tuning in. Jacob, thank you for rounding it all about. I think it's been a lot of shared ideas. And Joey, really awesome question, I think, on DeFi kingdoms and treasures. We definitely like to talk more shop. Perhaps we host an NFT gaming specific spaces soon. We get some of the founders of the other games. Maybe we go nudge the Gilded Guardians team, get them on board, see what's new there. But at any rate, just want to give a quick shout out again to Meg Thorpe, our newest engagement manager. We've also got some new partnerships with NFT Nerds and Nansen as well. So if you're a Metaverse HQ member, definitely, you'll want to leverage those discounts. I mean, those tools are incredible, especially if you're serious with NFT trading and like to, dabble in the market such as we do. And thank you so much for tuning in and sharing your Thursdays with us. May your mints be merry. And